waiting so long. Gotta make it perfect, it can't be wrong, no. Trying to keep doing it right when you on my mind, cause you are my baby. Promise I'll treat you like a lady, and I won't do you no.
Good afternoon, participants. I would like to remind the participants to fill in the requisite form as the link has already been posted in the Zoom chat box. Or you can scan the barcode on your screen. And please turn on your camera for the participation. Thank you for your attention.
Us down to the ground in reality's whole. Let's make all our fantasies real. Yeah, you already know that I'm taking requests. Tell me what to do. Where we going next? I'll leave it up to you. Take all your reservation, debate on what's going on inside your mind, your heart, your soul. Switch it up and be alive. Take it all away. It'll be okay. And when the moment is right, I'll make sure I'm in tune. And this concert just for two. Cause this is our first song. Sorry I had you waiting so long. Gotta make it perfect, it can't be wrong, no. Trying to keep doing it right when you on my mind, cause you are my baby. Promise I'll treat you like a lady, and I won't do you no. Cause this is our first song. I don't have to sing alone. Together we're in tune. Just to merge as one. I'll give you all my love until we finish what we've both begun. Cause this is our first song. Sorry I had you waiting so long. Gotta make it perfect, it can't be wrong, no. Trying to keep doing it right with you on my mind, cause you are my baby. Promise I'll treat you like a lady, and I can't do you no harm. Cause this is our first song.
Hey, that's what I want to say to you, babe. Oh, I wish that I could say that too. These feelings I'm sensing right now, they make me wanna burst inside. Is this love I'm feeling for you? I'm so confused, don't know what to do. When I'm around you, I feel my mind go blank, yeah. Like you, want to confess, but I'm scared to find out the truth.
Good afternoon, participants. I would like to remind the participants to fill in the requisite form as the link has already been posted in the Zoom chat box. Or you can scan the barcode on your screen. And please turn on your camera for the participation. Thank you for your attention.
Can be with a smile on your face. Just thinking of you makes my heart skip a beat. Can't fall asleep cause reality is finally better than my dreams. Yeah, darting eyes, I feel the heat rise up to my cheeks. It's so nice knowing that you will always be beside me. They say that it's only puppy love, regardless of what it is. I am still in love with you. I really like you, I want to confess, but I'm scared to find out the truth. Whether if you like me back or not, I wonder every day until my mind goes insane. Please tell me how you feel, baby. I like you a lot. I love it when you look at me with a smile on your face. Just thinking of you makes my heart skip a beat. Can't fall asleep cause reality is finally better than my dreams.
I'll admit that heaven is a place I've found. No, it ain't up in the clouds, high off the ground. Maybe it's just you sitting right next to me, and there's nothing.
Good afternoon, participants. I would like to remind the participants to fill in the requisite form as the link has already been posted in the Zoom chat box. Or you can scan the barcode on your screen. And please turn on your camera for the participation. Thank you for your attention.
So clear, I've got you standing here. It's time for me to let you know that I can't let this chance go by. I need you in my life. 5 more words I'll say to show that all I wanted was you. Everything you stand for and your classy style, you can flip a messed up day.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Let me introduce myself. I'm Jessica as the Master of Ceremony for today's webinar. It is my pleasure to welcome you here in this accounting talk. Before we get started, let us open this webinar with a prayer, and I will lead the prayer in a Christian way. Let us pray. Dear God, thank you for your blessing so we can gather around in this Zoom meeting today to join a webinar. God, we want to start our webinar. Please lead us and help us so the webinar can go smoothly. And please bless the speaker and also us so we can listen and follow the webinar well. In the name of Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen. Welcome once again in today's accounting talk, where this evening we are going to discuss about the digital art in business presentations and negotiations. This is a very important issue that is becoming more and more critical every day. I would like to go over a few items so you know how to participate in today's event. Please turn on your camera and turn off your microphone. Later on, you will have the opportunity to open your microphone in the Q&A session. But if you are shy and want to ask questions to today's speakers, please do not hesitate to type your questions into the Zoom chat box, and we are here to read it for you. Also, we will be giving numbers for 2 best questions. Without further ado, let's head on to the main agenda for today's event. And in this webinar, we will be guided by a great moderator, Mr. Alan Dharma Saputra, as the head of International Business Accounting Program in Petra Christian University. So, Mr. Alan, the virtual floor is yours.
Right, thank you, Jessica. All right, so good afternoon and welcome to the second series of accounting talk this year by International Business Accounting Program of Petra Christian University. I would like to extend the warmest greetings to all participants of this accounting talk webinar. This webinar is a collaboration actually between the International Business Accounting Program, Petra, as well as Wall Street English. So therefore, I would like to also thank Wall Street English for this amazing collaboration event. Now, with the changes of business environment post-COVID-19, the improvement of business skills is getting more important than ever. In the past 2 years, we can see a lot of businesses actually closed down. Yet there are also new businesses starting up, right? Therefore, the current conditions opens up to a lot of business opportunities that we've never seen before. So with that being said, one of the most important skills that business person needs to have is actually communication skills. So that's why in today's webinar, we will discuss how to improve your business presentations as well as your business negotiation skills. However, before we actually start into the main event, I would like first to invite Wall Street English as our partner for this webinar to give an introduction first about what is actually Wall Street English, right? Therefore, I would like to invite Miss Octavia from Wall Street English to actually give the presentation. Miss Via, the virtual floor is yours.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Alan and everyone. Good afternoon. So my name is Via and I'm the personal consultant in Wall Street English. So today I'm going to share a little bit information about Wall Street English and what is Wall Street English actually is, yeah. So we are actually an English course, but our method is very unique from other English institutions, yeah, because we combine academic and lifestyle aspect in life. So our main goal is to boost your guys and confidence in English. Yeah, we have personalized support, and then the trainers we have here are from English-speaking countries only, like UK, US, Canada, New Zealand, and Australia. So we don't have trainers from Asia like India, Pakistan, or Arab. Yeah, and since you guys are very busy with college, yeah, I believe you don't really have a lot of time to learn English properly. That's why here in Wall Street, it's very flexible schedule. We have classes every single day from Monday to Sunday from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. So you guys can just adjust to your availabilities. And later on, after you graduate from Wall Street, you can get a certificate that can be used on your resume or LinkedIn, or maybe if you guys want to go overseas to study, it can be a supporting document, yeah. And we also have the professional skill program. So if you guys want to be more professional in business, we can teach you how to be a professional businesswoman or man. So here's a sneak peek of our program.
It is still muted.
And yeah, that's for all the program in Wall Street English. If you guys have any questions or interested in our program, we can discuss later, yeah, after this webinar. Okay, thank you so much, guys, for listening. And I'm gonna return the virtual floor back to Mr. Alan, yeah? Thank you.
All right, thank you, Miss Via, for the short introduction about Wall Street English. So I noticed one thing, Miss Via, in your presentation. So now the class is 100% online. Is that the case?
Okay, so we have two options actually. We have 100% online and the hybrid one.
I see. Okay,
Our
because
center,
Mhm.
our center is in Pakuan Mall.
Yes, that's the one that I noticed. Probably that will actually be a great opportunity. So maybe after going to Wall Street English, they can go shopping, yeah, after the session's finished, I guess. All right. Okay, so that's pretty much about Wall Street English. If you guys are interested, you can come to Wall Street English later on for more information. Right, with that being said, I believe that all participants have been waiting for the main event for today. Now, it actually will not be the usual webinar style event today, but it will be an interactive webinar today. Right, so our speaker today will be Mr. Edwin Phillips. So Edwin Phillips is an English trainer from Wall Street English and also have a lot of experience with an upper second class honors degree in English language and literature, a Cambridge CELTA Pass B, as well as a band for Cambridge TKT for young learners. Welcome, Mr. Edwin, and thank you for being part of today's webinar.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Alan. Okay, yeah, thank you for asking me. We've got quite a lot to get through in the next hour. So, as you said, I do want this to have an interactive element.
Yes.
So, as well as presenting information related to digital presentations, negotiations. I would like to try and maybe quiz everybody and perhaps if we have time, we could have a short activity at the end, just practicing some language. Okay,
Right.
so the main rundown is, okay, we need to understand digital presentations, negotiations. So we want to look at these in context of the relationship they have with offline. I mean, as you said, you know, things have changed a lot in the last couple of years, you know, with the pandemic, and online meetings have become more usual, more normal. People are used to them, but the etiquette has changed to an extent. Okay, so let me please, if I could share my screen, and we'll look at some bits. Okay. Okay, so yeah, welcome everybody, and thanks again for asking me. So our primary agenda will be looking at, we'll split it into two sections. We'll focus on presentations and we'll focus on business negotiations. So with the presentations, we'll look at how we can be effective using a digital format, things we just need to consider, and just some points that we should also to make our presentations more effective. Okay. In the negotiation sections, we're going to focus on some language we can use to emphasize our opinions. Okay. And if we have time, we'll look at how we can make agreements as well. So let's get started. So, okay. We'll start by just some basics of things to remember if we are doing an online presentation. Very similar to offline presentations, okay? So we call this setting the stage, okay? So let's just think about, I mean, perhaps we could ask for some feedback. If anybody wants to leave comments in the chat, people could just say yes if they perhaps give presentations. I know, I'm not sure how regularly you guys do. Let me open up the chat. What have we got? Okay. Okay, so what can anybody, you're welcome to use the chat box. Or please just call out, don't be shy. Does anyone have any thoughts about what makes a good presentation? Or perhaps what do we mean when we say setting the stage? What's the meaning? Thoughts, anyone? Setting the Zoom link? Yeah, absolutely. So anything that is related to us being prepared. What else is there with Zoom? Let's have a think. Let's just have a look then. So, okay, here are some basics, okay? We want, even though we're online, we want to be professional. So a background is a very good idea. See our very fashionable background we have today. Test our technology, okay? Make sure that you have everything prepared with your slides. If you have any audio files, any video files. And also don't forget, I mean, people are watching you, so appear confident and smile, okay? So any thoughts, 1, 2, or 3, which is the most important in your opinion? Anyone? Okay, I would say they're possibly equally important. Maybe number 2, I think, would be especially important. Okay, so one similarity with offline presentations, online presentations is why are you presenting? Why is it you? Why am I talking right now? Okay, this is what we call credibility. Okay, so if you want your presentation online to be effective, think about giving perhaps the viewers some information about yourself. Okay, Alan was kind enough to introduce me, perhaps giving me some credibility. Maybe just, I think he mentioned some qualifications and experience. But normally when a presentation begins and you are introducing yourself, okay, you want to first perhaps give some information about yourself. And maybe these are 5 points, okay? So we'll look at these points now, okay? What information would we include when we introduce ourselves or we are introduced? Okay, typically, yeah, of course, we would say name, yeah. Thank you, Aiko, yeah. So we would introduce ourselves by name at the very least. The reason of presenting, yeah, thank you, Josephine. Well, yeah, absolutely. Let's have a look at a few ideas. These are suggestions, of course. So if you are introducing someone or you are being introduced or introducing yourself, my name's Edwin, I'm a Wall Street English trainer. I've been asked to give this talk because I have experience with coaching presentations and negotiations and teaching business English. So by giving a reason, maybe explaining some information, why I'm here, hopefully I am now credible, okay? So an important point, I mean, remember that even if you are not an expert, okay, you can still establish credibility by emphasizing the importance of the subject. Okay, so perhaps you have a presentation that is something on a subject that is new to you. Okay, you could still tell everybody during the presentation or the introduction all the importances, the important points about the subject, and this will help with your credibility. Okay, and then you can proceed into the body of the presentation. Okay, so we're going to look at a strategy that we call outlining. Okay. Does anyone have any thoughts? Has anyone heard of outlining before? Anyone familiar with this term? Okay, well, let me explain. So an outline, yeah, I mean, it's important to have an outline when we give a presentation. Why? Well, let's have a look. So at the beginning of a presentation, whether it's online, in a digital presentation, such as we do now, okay, there's normally a few things that we do, okay. We've already discussed the basics. So we would introduce themselves, or we are introduced by someone else. We introduce the topic, and then we establish credibility. Okay, so these are the very, very basics of outlining. Okay, but there is one more thing that a good presenter might do. Can anybody guess what this might be? Any thoughts in the chat, perhaps? Okay, no, okay. Well, we would give an outline of what our audience will be expecting, okay? This helps people understand whereabouts in the presentation they are at any point, okay? So it helps from the beginning when people are settling in, and towards the end, it will give people the expectation that the presentation is going to end and people can get ready for any questions they have, perhaps. So I would like to play you 2 examples, okay? I want you to hear 2 speakers, okay, delivering 2 different presentations. Okay, they are just 1 minute long each, okay? And then I want us just to see, in your opinion, which is better and why. Okay, so I'm just going to stop this share and I'm just going to open another, okay? Okay, let me just. Okay, and just 1 minute, I will just share the audio here. Okay. So this is talk number 1, okay? It's just 1 minute. I just want you to listen and in your opinion, what do you think is, well, just what are your thoughts about this, okay?
Thank you for coming today. As you know, I want to talk about the marketing plans. Brand identity is a key issue, and what it means is how we are seen by our customers and how our products are recognized, and what our consumers think of us as a company. And I should also say what they think of our products and the name, what telco means for them. And advertising is part of it, of course, though not something I'm going to talk about now, except to say that as for brand image, it's important in that area too. Advertising, that is.
Okay, right. So that was the introduction to talk number 1. Okay, let me now, in contrast, play you another. So let me just share this with you. Okay, this is talk number 2.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Arnold Layton. I'm a geophysicist for ELF Aquitaine, with special responsibility for analysing new fields in the North Sea. I'm going to talk about some recent research into new methods of detecting oil in shallow waters. I've divided my talk into 3 parts. First, research that we have done. Then I'll report on some published research from other companies, and finally I'll talk about what this may mean for our exploration activities. Please interrupt if at any time you have any questions or something is not clear. My talk will last about half an hour. Later, my colleague Jacques Flambert will be showing a video on...
Okay, so perhaps, you know, there's 80 people here. Perhaps everyone could put a number into the chat box. Do you think that number 1 or number 2 was the best introduction? What do you think? Okay, so everyone, we have quite a agreement here, don't we? So let's just think about this then. Okay, so everyone is saying number 2. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I think that we can all agree. Yeah. So why is number 2 better? Is there any thoughts? Any comments in the chat box? What was it? Okay, well, we can say that it follows a simple structure. Okay, talk number 2, we had self-introduction by the person, just name, job, company. The presenter also established their credibility. They just talked about their experience, their skills. They introduced the topic, and then they told the viewers what they should expect. Okay, main point 1, main point 2, main point 3. So talk number 1 was very disorganized. The speaker kept adding extra information. So it was difficult for anyone to really understand what to expect. But I think if you saw talk number 2, it would be a lot easier for you to understand. And the easier it is for you to understand, the more information you can take away and more your audience can take away. So, okay, we're going to look at what we call the hook. Okay, does anyone have any thoughts about what the hook might be in terms of a presentation? This is just as effective whether it's a digital presentation or whether it's a offline presentation. Any thoughts? Okay. Well, a hook. Imagine you are fishing. You use a hook to catch the fish. Okay, a hook is a phrase or a sentence that grabs the audience's attention. Okay, normally a good presentation or each section of a presentation will start with a word or a phrase, and the idea is that it will grab everyone's attention, and then you can explain the information. Okay, so the Young Presidents Organization is a global leadership community of chief executives, and they have identified 7 different types of hook. So we can have 7 different ways which help digital presentation start strongly. We can give a quote, perhaps somebody famous or a personality or something that maybe is not well known, but something that will grab attention. We could also start a presentation perhaps by using different scenarios. We could have a what if or an imaginary scenario. Okay, and we'll look at examples of these in a moment. Okay, we could start with a question. Okay, similar to a what if scenario, but perhaps I could start the presentation, ask the question, and answer the question by the end. Number 5 is interesting. I could start a presentation with silence, which can be very powerful. Okay, you know, it's different, and as long as you've got some visual cue and it's very clear your presentation has started, then silence can be very powerful. We could give a statistic. Okay, 80% of people like to just watch a presentation without interacting, for example. Or we could create a powerful statement. Okay. So ideally, we want to let's just try some small interactive activity now. Okay, I think what I will try and do, I will share a document. How do I share a document? I cannot share a document. Okay. Okay, I will not share a document. Okay, well, let's just try to remember the different types of hooks, okay? I will give you some examples. Maybe type into the chat box which type of hook you might think this is. So just to go back and remind you guys, we've got a quote, a what if, imaginary. We could start with a question or silence, a statistic or a powerful statement. Okay, so let's have a look. So A, I can start by my presentation by saying this. Picture this, you are skydiving. You jump out of the plane, and when you pull the ripcord, your parachute doesn't open. What's the first thing that pops into your head? Okay, what type of hook do you think this might be? Yeah, imaginary scenario. Very good. Aiko Shane. Yeah. We could also say this is a question as well. Okay, so if you start the presentation like this, people will pay attention. What about item B? Maybe a pause for 10 seconds, yeah. And then perhaps the statement. I just counted to 10 in my head. In that time, 40 babies around the world were born. By the end of my talk today, that number will be over 3,000. Okay, Leo, yeah, so silence can be powerful. What other hook type does this match? Any thoughts? We could say this is a statistic. It's also quite a powerful statement as well. Okay. What about item C? Do you remember what you ate for breakfast today? What about yesterday? How about last Tuesday? Yeah, good. Correct, Aiko. Question. So questions can be a very good way to start the presentation. Let's have a look at just a few more, okay? What do you think for item D? What would you say if I told you that by the year 2100, there will be 10 billion people living on planet Earth? Again, this is multiple hooks in here. We could have it as a what if scenario, a question, statistics. Okay, so this would be quite a powerful way to start the presentation on the online presentation. Or item E, I have a dream that one day my children will live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the color content of their character. What hook type is this? Well, it's a very powerful statement. It's a quote as well. So multiple hooks. Item F, there are in this world between 6,000 and 7,000 languages. And every 14 days, the last speaker of one of those languages dies, and the knowledge is lost to us forever. This is a very powerful statement, and it's a statistic. So again, multiple hooks. Okay, last one, item G. John D. Rockefeller, one of the richest men in history, once said, "Don't be afraid to give up the good to go for the great." Okay. Any thoughts about this hook type? Okay, we could say, this is a quote. Okay, so that was some ideas on how to make your presentations online presentations, more powerful, more engaging, and maybe more effective. So we now want to turn our attention to looking at negotiation skills. Okay, so as I said at the beginning, people have become a lot more used to online meetings since COVID and the stay at home, working from home. Okay, but we still need to reach agreements. We still need to negotiate and give opinions. So I'd like to just quiz you all for a little while. This will be a multiple choice quiz. Okay. I will give you some multiple choice questions, and I would like you to answer by typing A, B, C, or D. Okay. And it's up to you guys, to be honest, to keep track of your own score. Okay. If you answer correctly, you will get 1 point. If you make a mistake, you will lose 1 point. If you say you don't know, then your score will not change. So we will see who has the most. Are we ready? Okay. So I'd like you to tell me A, B, C, or D. Okay. Which do you think is correct? A, B, C, or D? Come on, there's 80 people here. I want to see 80 answers. Okay. We've got 3, 4. Okay, everyone's saying A. Are we all copying Jonathan, perhaps? Okay. A, yeah. Remember, if you don't answer, your score does not change. Any more ideas? A, B, C, or D? Okay, everyone's saying A. Either everyone's right or everyone's wrong. Okay, so actually, well done. Everybody is correct. Well done. I agree with you. Okay, we don't say B or C because there are 2 verbs. We do not say I am agree because that is the verb be followed by the verb agree. We don't usually say agree about. We say we agree on or agree that blah, blah, blah. Okay, so number 1 is correct. Very good. Okay, question number 2. So everybody who put A, you have 1 point, okay? Next is, which one is correct? A, B, C, or D? If you get it wrong, you lose 1 point. Okay, Jonathan, Aiko, Michelle. Everyone's saying A again. Okay. Any more for any more? What do we think? A, B, C, or D? Well, let me read them out. Do you agree that it is important? B, are you agree that it is important? C, are you agree it is important? Or D, do you agree is important? Correct answer is, sorry. Oops. Correct answer is A. So well done. Everyone who answered A, 1 more point. Okay, question 3. So well done, Via. Question 3. Now, please, could you tell me which one is incorrect? A, B, C, or D? Which one is not correct? Could I say we all agree on this? Could I say we are all in agreement about this? Could we say C, we all agree for this? Or could I say D, we all agree regarding this? What are your thoughts? Which one is incorrect? Okay, everyone, well, we've got a few people. I think everyone who said C, 1 more point. Very good. Well done. We can say agree on plus a noun. We can be in agreement. We all agree for. We don't say agree for. So well done if you said C. Okay, question number 4. Okay, please can you tell me which one is correct? Which one is correct? I might have to hurry you up. Okay, Jonathan, you think B? Lindsay, so Via, are you just copying Jonathan? B, B, B. Okay, everyone's saying B. Busted, Via. Okay, well done, Jonathan. And well done, everyone else. Yeah, B. Okay. So based on my experience, okay. So based in refers to where location of a headquarters. Base something on means to use particular facts. Based in my experience, no, base my experience. Okay. Based on my experience is correct. Well done. Okay, now we're going to increase the difficulty. Okay, which 2 are incorrect? We have a time limit now as well. Okay. This is question 5. Okay, you have to get both correct to get 1 point. What do you think now, Pia? Anyone? We've got a bit of a mix now. Okay. Okay. C and D. I think the consensus is that C and D are incorrect. And well done, Via. Yeah, I think Jonathan was copying you this time. Okay, so yeah, my point of view that, on my point of view. So lots of other phrases we can use to make agreements if we are having our digital negotiations, expressing our opinions, okay? Other common phrases we can use on the right also. Okay, let's try, we've got a few more questions, okay? Question 6, which one answer is incorrect? What do you think now, Via? D, okay. Yeah, very good, everyone. Well done. Everyone, very good, actually. Okay, so 3, A, B, C are correct. And D has no verb, okay? So what verb, how would we correct this sentence? Any thoughts? We would say, what is your opinion? Okay, we need the verb be. What is your opinion? Okay, good. Let's another one. Question number 7. I want, which one is most correct? What are your thoughts? Which one is most correct? Okay, a bit of a mix, C and a B. Not too sure. It's quite difficult. It is getting more difficult. So C, B, D, B. What do you think now, Bea? Huh? B. Okay. Well, the most correct I can't agree on this arrangement. I can't. This question, it should be which is the most common. Which is the most common? To an extent, these are all correct. But in general, we agree with a person or a policy. We agree on something we are discussing. But if we make promises or arrangements, we agree to them. Okay? For example, click here if you agree to Apple's terms and conditions. Okay, so we agree to arrangements. Okay. So A, you would agree with a person. B, you would agree with a something you are discussing. Okay, let's. Okay, very good. So what was your score? Is everyone being honest? Could you please type your score? How many did you get correct out of 7? How many did you get, Via? 6? Really? Well done. 6, okay, Jonathan. Well, Via was copying, I think. So. Okay, so well done. We'll say Via and Jonathan are the joint first place. Okay, so let's think about some language, more language that we can use when we are negotiating and we are making agreements. So each of these has a mistake. Okay, number 1, we would say, what is your opinion? Okay, not what your opinion. Okay, I mean, does anyone? So number 2, I agree about we need. There's a mistake there. Any thoughts? Which word is incorrect, do you think? For number 2, one word is correct, incorrect. Okay, right. Ah, very good, Jonathan. Yeah, good, Aiko, very good, yes. I agree that we need to limit. Very good, yeah. Okay, so number 3, which word is incorrect? Okay, so we just need to agree for a number, 5 minutes. One word is incorrect. What are your thoughts? Not sure, anyone? Okay, 4, we agree on. Okay, if you think back to the language that we just used, okay, we agree on a number. Okay, and again, just think back a couple of minutes. Number 4, based on my experience, if you say 5 minutes, the staff will just take 15. Which word in number 4? Yeah, good. Yeah, well done. Aiko, Michael, well done. Yeah, based. It should be based on my experience. Okay, good. Number 5, I am agree with you there. They will just ignore the rule. Very good. Interesting from Samuel. I'm agreeing with you there. That would be correct, yes. But also everyone else, we could say I agree. Or as Samuel said, there are other ways to fix this. I am agreeing with you is correct as well. So well done. So number 6. Okay, so we in agreement. There's a missing word. Which word is missing for number 6? Yeah. Yeah, correct, Aiko. Yeah, we are in agreement. Yeah. So we always need the verb. And again, this is the verb be, present plural. Okay, number 7. In my point of view. Okay, let's see. Jonathan, you're saying it should be from my point of view. Very good. Well done. Okay, number 8 as well. I'm afraid I am not agree with you. The mistakes in there. I am afraid I am not agree with you. Which part is incorrect? Yeah, good. Well, we changed the verb be to do. Okay, I do not agree with you. Okay. Number 9, the way I see it, we don't need them to agreement. Any thoughts? Which word is the mistake? One word is wrong. Yeah, agreement is a noun. We need a verb. If we say to, we followed it by the verb, agree. We need them to agree. And okay, number 10, I disagree. The new policy should be something everyone can disagree about. Do I say something everyone can agree about? Do we say the new policy? Do we agree about the policy? You remember back to our last section? With a policy, we say we agree on a policy or agree with a policy, okay? Okay, well done. Okay, good. So I'd like now to look at how to express your opinion, okay, during negotiations or a business meeting online. Okay, so when we are discussing online via Zoom, it's kind of more important than offline that we are very clear with our opinions through our words, okay? When we are meeting offline, we can have the benefit of body language. We call this interpersonal communication. Online, yeah, we need to be very clear. So we can grade our opinions, okay? We can have a strong opinion, okay? We can strongly agree, we can strongly disagree, okay? We could have a neutral opinion, okay? Where I don't mind, okay? Or we could have a tentative opinion, which is when we are being indecisive and we are not sure, okay? So let's have a look. I want you guys to tell me what you think, okay? So if I say traffic is not very good in Jakarta, okay? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Okay, so we've got A, B, C, and D, yeah? What do you think is the strong agreement here? What reply, A, B, C, or D, would be your strong agreement? Yeah, absolutely. I totally 100% agree. You're expressing a very strong agreement, okay? What about a neutral agreement? You don't disagree, you don't disagree or disagree. Somewhere in between, what do you think? Okay, Kelvin's saying B, it's B or C. So tentative and neutral opinions are very similar, okay? I would say neutral is C. It's like, yeah, kind of so-so, pretty true. And disagreement, A or B. I think it's quite clear, isn't it? A is your disagreement, okay? So B would be your tentative agreement here, okay? Okay, let's try another, okay? We'll just look at some other language where you could strongly agree, strongly disagree, have a neutral opinion, or have a tentative, which means unconfirmed opinion. So you're not really sure about your opinion. You haven't decided. So you have to dress professionally to be successful. Okay, what do you guys think? How would I, A, B, C, or D, how would I strongly agree to this? Yeah, good. Yeah, I could not agree more. Very strong agreement. Yeah, there's no ambiguity about that. If you are discussing a negotiation online or having a meeting and you make this statement, it's very clear. What about your strong disagreement? What do you think there? Kelvin and Jessica saying C? Yeah, good. So, okay. Which is your neutral opinion, do you think, between A and D? So the neutral and tentative are very opinion. Yeah, they're very similar. Okay, Kelvin, you're changing your mind. Okay, no problem. Let's have a look at our suggested answers here. Okay. Yep. So neutral agreement is I think so. I think so. Your tentative agreement, I'm somewhat inclined to agree. It means you haven't fully decided. Okay. And right, let's have a look at another. If I make the statement, there is no room for fashion in the professional world. Which language from A, B, C, and D do you think is strongly agreeing? Yeah, okay, Eunice, Kelvin, Aiko, good. Yeah, B, that's definitely true. Yeah, good. Okay, what do you think about the tentative agreement, the unconfirmed, undecided, unsure opinion? Okay, well, it's definitely, yeah, it's either A or D, isn't it? I think that neutral is D, I would say tentative is A, okay? Okay, well done, very good, yeah. So in terms of agreeing and disagreeing, okay, we can, there are lots of ways to agree, there are lots of ways to disagree, but we can add or reduce the strength for our opinion by adding adverbs or adverb phrases onto our English. So if we take a look, okay. So can anybody think of any adverbs that we could add If I said I agree, how can I make that stronger? By adding an adverb. Any thoughts? Okay, well, so an adverb, we use these to modify verbs. So agree is the verb, totally is modifying it, making it much stronger. Okay, we can use these at the beginning or the end of a sentence or just before the verb. Okay, so all of these are correct. Totally, I agree. I agree totally. I totally agree. All of these are correct. But we make our opinion a lot stronger. Okay, so when we are online in a digital environment, we might want to be sure that we are being very clear about our stating our opinions. Okay. Very much so, to an extent, these are examples of adverb phrases. Again, they are modifying the verb, but multi-word expressions. Okay. Okay, so there's a wide variety of adverbs. Okay. But something to be aware of, just to make your opinion very strong. So let's have a look at identifying some adverbs or adverb phrase. So in this dialogue, okay, we have very strong opinions. Mary says, we should definitely have some blah, blah, blah. Darius replies, what is the adverb in the sentence from Darius? Okay. Yep. Okay. Okay. So let's just try and wrap up in the next 5 minutes, I think. Okay. So, yep. Well done, Michael. Yeah, we would say totally. This is the adverb. Okay. The next sentence. Which adverb or adverb phrase do you think is in this sentence? Could we perhaps say jeans are not allowed? Okay, so yeah, well done, Jonathan. Yeah, perhaps it's the adverb here. Okay, next, Darius. I agree at least partially that blue jeans should be prohibited. Okay, well, Jonathan says partially, which interestingly is partially correct. This is actually an adverb phrase, at least partially. If we did just say partially on its own, yes, that would be good. Here we're using a phrase. Okay, Mary, fine, I can go along with that. Do you agree that we will not allow tattoos at all? Okay, any thoughts? Adverb phrase we're looking for here consists of 2 words. Yeah, well done, Ronaldo. Okay, at all. Okay, so this is something that we add on at the end of the sentence that just emphasizes the opinion. Okay. Darius, yes, I'm with you. Tattoos should, without a doubt, be covered. What's the adverb phrase there, do you think? Adverb phrase, yeah, is without a doubt. Okay. Okay, let's have a look. Next one. Okay, Mary. Okay, from my point of view, female employees should probably wear heels. Where is our adverb in there? Yeah. Good. Well done, Jonathan. Probably. Okay, we can remove that and the sentence is still correct. It's modifying the verb which comes afterwards. Okay. Darius, really? Oh, really? I don't think so. If we make heels absolutely mandatory, some of the staff might complain that the policy is sexist. Okay, any thoughts about where our adverb is in this sentence? Very good, Jessica. Yeah, correct. Absolutely. Absolutely mandatory. Again, we could remove this. The sentence is still correct. Okay, it just adds emphasis. Okay, good. And next one, Mary. I suppose you are right. I guess we can't really require men to wear ties either. Where is our adverb there? Good, yeah. Yeah, again, we could just remove it. The sentence is still correct. This is additional information. Okay, last one. Darius says, that's right. Let's just say business casual and be done with it. Good, yeah. Good, well done, Jonathan. Okay, so just. So, yeah, just. Can be removed, modifies the verb. Okay, good. So let's wrap this session up now. Okay, so we discussed things to remember when we are setting our stage for our digital presentations and our digital negotiations. We've looked at establishing credibility, why you are a good person to be delivering the presentation. Okay, we've looked at outlining and the importance of it, which is how we tell people what to expect, and we structure things well. We looked at what we call the hook. So a good way to grab attention in a presentation using different strategies. And we looked at language for agreement. We opinions, different types of opinion. Okay. So I hope that was useful for everybody. I hope perhaps there was some new vocabulary or new something else to think about. I hope so. So I think we can now hand back to Alan and he could maybe take questions. Okay. Is that okay, Alan?
Yes. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Edwin, for sharing your knowledge with all of us. It's actually very interesting topics that you share with the participants today, how to prepare for a good presentations, starting from setting the stage, establishing credibility up until the end, how we can express our opinions during a presentation. I'm also learning that. So thank you very much, Mr. Edwin. So with that being said, I believe there will be some questions from our participants. So I would like to open the Q&A sessions for all participants to ask questions regarding Mr. Edwin's presentation. You can put the questions on the general chat or you can private chat to me so I can guide the Q&A session. All right. All right. While we are waiting, Mr. Edwin, there is actually a secret questions coming. Yeah. First thing first is how to actually be able to gain confidence during a presentation, especially sometimes when we are already on the stage, we can be blank. suddenly,
Yeah.
like in the middle
Yeah.
of presentations, and then how to be able to fight that any tips and
I
tricks?
mean, obviously, you know, confidence is something that you develop. Okay, but there are some strategies that you can use. I mean, preparation obviously would be a very important one. I mean, if you research and you understand your topic, then you will have your own questions. Okay, so you can understand what other people will be asking. Okay, or what people will want to know. If you consider yourself to be have a good understanding of the topic, then you should try to understand that your role is to pass on information. So try to focus more, instead of worrying about being confident, just try to realize that you are doing something that is beneficial for other people, that they will benefit from. Okay. Also, just try not to worry. You know, I mean, if you don't worry, you will just naturally relax and just understand it's natural. I mean,
Yeah.
I think if people did not have certain level of anxiety for public speaking, then they wouldn't have adrenaline or cortisol, and this helps you. Okay, so I mean, it's a natural sensation, and the more you do it, the easier it gets. And just understand that you have a role, and that role is to help others, to pass on your information. And people don't really, and also I think just yeah, aside from not worrying, just, you know, just let go of your ego. I think, yeah, you know, just be yourself.
Yep. Thank you very much, Mr. Edwin. I guess it's interesting that you mentioned that confidence is actually being developed, yeah, especially with the expertise that you have. For instance, for me as well, if I'm presenting about the topics that I've been studying with and then already developing some confidence in it, I actually can present it pretty well. But I think interesting topics that you actually mentioned earlier, Mr. Edwin. How if it's a topic that you're not really familiar with, because I'm also sometimes experiencing it. I need to bring up a topic that I'm not familiar with, and suddenly I was blank in the middle. Like, what are the tips and tricks that you can do during that stage, for example?
Yeah, well, I mean, this again, I would say, comes to the preparation stage. I mean, if you are not knowledgeable, then obviously you will have your own questions. Okay, so you can understand the questions that people have, that they would be asking. What do I want to know about this topic? Okay, this is what other people will want to know. Yeah, so in my preparation, if I can answer these questions, then it will help others. I mean, if we think back to one of the points we raised earlier, when we looked at establishing credibility, I mean, you might not be an expert, but you can establish the credibility by having a relationship with the audience, by emphasizing the importance. Okay, so we might say, you know, let's look at this together. Let's learn together. Let's understand the information together. Okay, it's not necessarily always an expert in an audience. Okay, it could just be a group of people that are all sharing information, that are learning together. Okay, so everyone will have the same questions, and again, if you can prepare in advance, then hopefully you will be answering the questions that other people will have afterwards.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Edwin. Now we actually got a questions from Jonathan there. How to respond to or professionally avoid questions that we could not answer during presentation. Now this one is very interesting.
Well, I mean, obviously there are always there's always a possibility that someone will ask a question and you don't have the answer. Okay, so I mean, the worst thing you can do is give incorrect information. Okay, I mean, one strategy that's very popular is just to open it up to the audience and just say, okay, let's have a discussion. What are your thoughts on this? Okay, so if somebody asks you a question, you could maybe ask the same question back. Okay, or just have a show of hands. What do we think? Do we agree? Do we disagree? If it's a factual question, okay, where there is it's not an opinion, it's based on the correct answer, then nothing wrong in saying you don't know. Okay, it's an opportunity to maybe have another session where we could say, okay, let's have another session and we will discuss this next time. I will I will find that information out. I will ask my colleagues and we can discuss next time. So I think, there's nothing wrong in saying you don't know. I think it's better than saying an incorrect answer. One strategy is to ask a question back, or just say, can anybody provide the answer? Does anyone know the answer to this? Does that help at all?
Yes. I believe it was a very interesting point, yeah, Jonathan. So first thing first, normally, if I was being asked as well, the first thing first is, if I don't know, it's better to just say you don't know. But actually, Mr. Edwin pointed out a different strategy, which is interesting. You can throw the questions back into all of the audience.
Well, how about this? I could say, what do you think, Jonathan? Have you got any thoughts on this, Jonathan? Or I could say, well, we could involve other people. I mean, we don't want to, with our presentations, obviously we want to allocate time for different sections. And, if we cannot answer, then it would possibly, disrupt the flow, and it could take too long for research. So I think, just be honest, open, and try and involve other people is the best approach.
Right. Any other questions from the participants? Thank you, Jonathan, for your questions. It was actually a very interesting questions that you asked. I was almost missed on that one, and I'm also learning new things. Any other questions? Feel free to put it in the chat box. All right, we got questions from Monica. Hi, sir. Do you have any tips on how to make our presentation more interesting and grab our audience attention?
Well, I think, with one problem with online presentations is kind of interaction and participation from people. It's very common that you'll have a large group and perhaps people don't like to speak up, because all of a sudden the view might be on them, and it's different confidence issues and that. So in a digital environment, it can be harder to interact. And I think that if you want to get attention from your audience, you want to participate with them. I mean, for example, you could see in today's session, we were utilizing the chat box just for multiple choice questions, So just having some interaction back and forth does help to keep people engaged, okay? Once we start doing interaction, we could start building sort of relationships with individuals. You notice I kept like making fun of Via. So just small things that just help to keep people engaged.
Okay, hopefully that answers, yeah, Monica.
I mean,
Thank you.
Of course, there are other. I mean, you know, remember also that with digital presentations, of course, we can just switch to a video. We can
Yeah.
just switch to audio, and really, it's kind of good to maybe every 5 minutes or so just keep changing.
Yeah.
Yeah, just so people's attention is.
Yes. The use of technology, especially, I believe like these younger students,
Yeah.
younger audience
Well, I think
actually are
the
expert.
younger people have very short attention. Yeah. So
Yeah,
the more
yeah,
you change, the better.
Yeah. So using the changing technology
Change.
constantly.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
even if it's maybe change your background, change the video,
Yeah.
use the
Right.
chat, keep interacting.
Okay, all right. I got another questions here, Mr. Edwin. Sir, is it better to take up all questions being asked and answer it, or should we answer the questions one by one when it comes?
I think
Normal.
it just depends, you know. I mean,
Mhm.
I think that if they are just one question here, one question there, what I suggest and recommend is perhaps that you keep the chat open and you
Mhm.
have one eye looking at it. Yeah.
Right.
So that you can just acknowledge people's interaction. Somebody
Yeah.
will leave a comment and you can just acknowledge it. If a question comes in, then you judge. Okay. And
Right.
you say, is that a quick question? And then you could either say, well, let's discuss that at the end, or you could give a quick answer. Yeah, so it depends really. And it also depends on the frequency. If there are lots and lots and lots of questions, you need to save them. If there is just one question, then yeah, if you know, it's polite, and it's also relevant, because if you save a question to the end, then perhaps, you know, the topic has changed and the subject is slightly different. So if possible, I like to try to answer them when they are asked. If there are lots or they will take too long, then we need to save them. So I hope that helps, Shane.
Yep. Thank you very much, Mr. Edwin. I guess because we are running out of time, so one last questions from Nikita. Yeah. Hello, sir. How if we don't have credibility, especially when they just graduate from business schools? I believe the question is how to make the presentations interesting, because credibility here.
You know, just to summarize quite quickly, I think that we establish credibility, okay? And if we do not have experience about the topic directly, then we just emphasize the importance of learning about the topic, okay? So we are credible because we value the importance, okay? So maybe we just explain, let's talk about this topic. We talk about this topic because it is important. Why is it important? Because of this reason, this reason, this reason. Okay, and then, you know, we have established our credibility, even though we are not an expert. Okay. So I hope.
Okay. Yeah, that was a very interesting point, Mr. Edwin. Thank you. So yeah, that one, yeah, Nikita. So acknowledging the importance of a certain topics actually can help to build your credibility, even though you're not an expert. So thank you as well for that questions. All right. So I guess that wraps up for today's webinar. Again, I would like to thank Mr. Edwin as the speaker for today's webinar, as well as I would like to thank Wall Street English as to partner with International Business Accounting Petra for this amazing webinar this evening. With that being said, I'll close the session up until here. I'll give it back to the MC. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Alan, for leading this webinar. And thank you also to Mr. Edwin Philip for your insightful sharing. Now let's do a photo session to document this special day. To the Multimedia Division, the time is yours.
Hello, I'm Keisha from the Multimedia Division. Please turn on your camera because right now I will be guiding the photo sessions for this event. So take your best poses and put your best smile. Please hold your smile because there are 4 slides to take a photo of. We're going to start from slide 1. Okay, slide 1, 1, 2, 3. Slide 2, 1, 2, 3. Slide 3, 1, 2, 3. The last slide, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you for your cooperations and giving back to the MC.
Once again, I would like to remind the participants that the 2 best questions will be given tumbler each, and the winner will be directly contacted by our committee. Therefore, we have reached the very end of today's accounting talk. We hope that you enjoyed today's discussion and may the information be useful for us for the day to come. We look forward to seeing you at the next event, and before we close the webinar, let us pray. Dear God, we finished our webinar today. Thank you for your guidance throughout the webinar so the webinar can run well. God, please bless us so the lesson today can be useful for us in the coming day. And now we want to end this webinar and continue our activity today. Please bless us for the rest of the day and may only your will that happen, God. In the name of Jesus Christ, we prayed. Amen. And once again, I want to thank our great moderator for leading this webinar and our great speakers for today's talk. Thank you everyone for attending today's webinar. And before you leave today's webinar, don't forget to do the registration out and evaluation form, as the link has already been posted in the Zoom chat box. Or you can scan the barcode on your screen. Thank you and God bless you.
You can flip a messed up day with just one smile. I don't have to tell you, cause you already know. Oh, it's you I've been waiting for. And I don't know what took me so long. Cause baby, you too good, I can't let you go. And oh, everything's so clear. I've got you standing here. It's time for me to let you know that I can't let this chance go by. I need you in my life. 5 more words I'll say to show that all I wanted was to tell you. How could you not know? I gave you all the signs, just pointing where to go. But you played my game right back at me. I never thought that I would finally get you to be my queen. Oh, now everything's so clear. I've got you standing here. It's time for me to let you know that I can't let this chance go by. I need you in my life. 5 more words I'll say to show that all I wanted was.
Before you leave today's webinar, don't forget to do the registration out and evaluation form, as the link has already been posted in the Zoom chat box. Or you can scan the barcode on your screen. Thank you and God bless you.
I'm nothing but myself. You are no one else. Thankful you're my day one. Thankful you're mine. I got lucky finding you. I won't make the day that I came across you. 'Cause when you're with me, I don't feel blue. Not a day goes by that I would not redo. Everybody wants to love.
Yeah, that's right.
It's easy when you try hard enough. Yeah, that's right. You'll always be my day one, day zero when I was no one. I'm nothing by myself, you and no one else. Thankful you're my day one. I'm thankful you're my day one. When I first met you,
Hi guys, thank you so much. I think that I will leave this. Thank you. Bye.
I don't believe in fate as such, but we were meant to be together, that's my hunch. Everybody wants true love. It's out there if you look hard. I know. Zero when I was one. I'm nothing by myself, you and no one else. Thankful you're day one. Hour by hour, minute by minute, I got mad love for you, and you know it. I would never leave on your own. I just want you to know you'll always be my day one, day zero when I was no one. I'm nothing by myself, you and no one else. Thankful you're my day one. You'll always be my day one, day zero when I was no one. I'm nothing by myself, you and no one else. Thankful you're my day one, day one, day one.
Halo, saya di take down sama HP ini masih record.